Welcome to Combat Empire, your home for the biggest stories, wildest moments, and most intense breakdowns in UFC, MMA, and boxing. If you enjoy fight news, predictions, drama, and breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe and help the channel keep growing. Every single subscribe helps us bring you even bigger combat sports content every week. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, because things are about to get violent inside the fight world.
My head is everything here. My head is everything. Bum. I hope this. Then I hope this. Bum. 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 Okay? Bum. 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 The fight is over here. The fight is over here. And then I want this head. Bum. 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 From here. Bum. 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 End the fight. Forever. All day, all night. Why? His head is right here. Please.
My strong rockets. These are missiles, yeah.
At welterweight, the conversation surrounding Conor McGregor's comeback extends far beyond what happens inside the cage. The stakes aren't limited to one fight or one opponent. Many believe the outcome against Max Holloway could determine everything that follows. Michael Bisping certainly sees it that way. According to him, this isn't simply another comeback, it's potentially the defining chapter of McGregor's career. A victory would immediately silence many of the doubts that have surrounded him over the past several years.
He lives a quiet life on the island of Hawaii, okay, on Hilo or whatever whichever island it is, I'm not too sure off the top of my head. Max bless Holloway. Where's he come from? Honolulu? I don't know off the top of my head. Let me know in the comment section, please. But still, what do you think about McGregor, this new version of himself? He does seem to have calmed down a little bit. He does seem to be taking this one very, very seriously. And he has to. Because if he doesn't get the job done here, at 38 years old, and I think he'll be turning 39 3 days after the fight, if he loses, people will be saying it's time for him.
The debate surrounding Conor McGregor.
A defeat, however, would only intensify the criticism already aimed at the former champion. That's why Bisping believes McGregor fully understands what's at stake. Unlike previous years, he appears calmer, more measured, more focused. Bisping believes McGregor realizes he no longer has room for unnecessary mistakes. Age, injuries, time away from competition, all of those factors have changed the equation. And with retirement discussions becoming increasingly common, every fight now carries even greater importance.
Felt like they could have done announcement with Conor and Holloway at the White House. I feel like that would have went really well for them. I think that would have been cool. I was also thinking about this on the drive-in. One of the reasons, many of reasons, they didn't put Conor on the White House card. Number one is the ticket sales, right? You can tell he's a big draw. Number two is, can you imagine the backlash that the left, CNN would have ran with if Conor, with his accusations in Dublin, going through, the grape stuff and all that?
That's interesting.
I bet you that had a hand in it, where they're like, hey, this is the White House. We're already getting a ton of shit for it. Do we really want Conor's comeback fight after going through all those legal issues in Dublin being at the forefront of this? And the ticket sales, they're like, it's just a lose-lose. I bet you that had something to do with it. They didn't want that negative attention stealing the storylines.
Paddy Pimblett, however, remains optimistic. He believes moving up to welterweight could actually work in McGregor's favor. According to Pimblett, the added size and strength may allow McGregor to hit even harder while avoiding difficult weight cuts that once strained his body. In his view, that creates a dangerous opening for Holloway during the early rounds. If McGregor lands first, the fight could end very quickly. But Pimblett also acknowledges the other side of the equation. If Holloway survives the early storm, everything begins to change. Because Holloway's greatest weapon has never been one-shot power. It's pressure, relentless pace, and the ability to fight at the same speed from the opening bell until the final horn. As the minutes pass, that pressure only grows, which is exactly why so many analysts believe the opening rounds will determine everything. Can McGregor capitalize before Holloway settles into his rhythm? Or will Holloway drag the fight into deep waters where his conditioning becomes a deciding factor? Those questions have divided the entire MMA community. Some still believe McGregor possesses the precision and timing to remind everyone why he became one of the biggest stars the sport has ever seen. Others believe time away from competition simply cannot be ignored, especially against someone as active and battle-tested as Max Holloway. And perhaps that's what makes this matchup so compelling. Neither fighter has anything left to prove, yet both have everything to gain. One is chasing the greatest comeback of his career.
Most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
The Eddie Alvarez fight.
Oh yeah,
Perfect
I was
example.
there. I was there. Well, thanks to you. With really good seats, thanks to you. But that was one of the best. That might be the best fight I've ever been to live, because that whole card was just stacked, and that as the main event was just unbelievable.
Bro, he was in the Matrix. He was in the Matrix. He was just in the zone. You know, Dana said it best. He's like, that kid eats pressure. He goes, he eats it.
Yeah.
Like, he thrives on pressure. Pressure that makes other people wilt.
Yes.
He, like, shines under that pressure.
And he had an amazing ability, even very early in his career, which was, like, kind of, it was really unique. Like, because even, like, on his first fight ever, if you watch his first fight in the UFC against, like, Brimage, I think the guy's name is, and he was a relatively unknown at the time. But, dude, the place is going nuts. He already had made so much kind of like street cred for himself, and then the Irish thing, like the Irish were really, really into it. But he, from the very first fight, he would always create these moments where it's like, dude, this is going to be the biggest spectacle that my opponent has ever been in their career. Like, I'm going to get you mad with shit talking. I'm going to get the fans so excited, because he's completely comfortable there.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure if you're really comfortable here, but and even with Aldo, who had been the entire division, he literally, when they started the division, they started him as champion. He didn't even win it. He came in because they absolved the WEC. So he was the entire featherweight division, had just dominated everyone, and he even created such a moment that like Aldo was like
he was the boogeyman.
Yeah, dude, he was incredible.
He's
one of the greatest
featherweights of all time.
But he got him to the point where he was like so furious that he was like, I'm gonna take this fucking guy's head off. And then Conor's just like relaxed. He's like he didn't care about any of the shit talking. He was just like, we're having fun. Let's play.
He lost his composure. Yeah, and he looked very overwhelmed by the moment. And by the way, everyone from Ireland came to Vegas for that fight. It was the nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. The entire Mandalay Bay was overcome.
Brendan Schaub recently shared his thoughts on why the UFC may have excluded McGregor from a potential White House appearance. Despite acknowledging that a McGregor versus Max Holloway fight announcement would have generated enormous attention, Schaub believes the organization simply wanted to avoid unnecessary distractions. According to him, McGregor's ongoing legal issues and the media attention surrounding them could easily have shifted the focus away from the event itself, creating headlines unrelated to the fights the UFC wanted to promote. Brian Davis also weighed in on Conor McGregor's career, questioning how one of the fastest rises in MMA history eventually led to such a lengthy absence from competition.
Against Max Holloway in a great fight, how do you see that matchup between those two?
Personally, I think because it's that welterweight, I see Conor knocking him out. Like, everyone's counting Conor out and thinks that Max is going to win. If it goes to the later rounds, Max definitely probably start piecing him up on the feet because he's got that cardio and the volume, but the fact that it's at welterweight, I think, favours Conor, because Charles made Max look small at lightweight. So imagine how big Conor's going to look compared to him at welterweight.
Davis admitted that McGregor's early accomplishments remain among the greatest the sport has ever seen, but argued that the years spent on the sidelines represent a missed opportunity for one of MMA's biggest talents. Still, he believes the story isn't over. If McGregor can defeat Max Holloway, Davis sees a path toward another blockbuster fight, potentially against Justin Gaethje, with an outside chance of re-entering the title picture. Although he acknowledges that scenario won't be easy, he also noted that McGregor appears noticeably
evolved. And I don't know if Conor McGregor necessarily has. Now, this is a big fight for him, for the sport, for his legacy, right? Because a lot of people are going to talk shit. If he loses this fight, fair weather fans, new people are going to be like, oh yeah, he doesn't seem like he was that good. The McGregor back in the day was that good. That's plain and simple. The way that he took out Eddie Alvarez, that was just beautiful. The Jose Aldo thing, that was one punch that was perfectly timed, incredible. But when he became double champ against Eddie Alvarez, That was a masterclass performance, okay? And then on the microphone saying, I'm going to apologize to absolutely nobody. Standing there with the 2 belts on, the first person to ever do it.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
It was incredible. I'm not glazing the guy. No one can deny that. And that's why he became the biggest star on the planet. And that's why he got opportunities to go and face someone like Floyd Mayweather and make the ridiculous amount of money.
More mature and reflective than in previous years. Logan Paul echoed similar praise when discussing McGregor's impact on combat sports. He described McGregor as the ultimate superstar, someone whose influence extends far beyond the UFC. After meeting him personally in Washington, D.C., Logan said McGregor's charisma is every bit as powerful in real life as it appears on television. Even so, he warned that returning after such a long layoff against elite-level competition is one of the toughest challenges any fighter can face.
McGregor hasn't fought in the last at least 2 years, right, since the Michael Chandler pullout or, rescheduling that bout. It's because the UFC, they see the value of Conor McGregor and they don't want to waste it, but at the same time it makes for a very difficult conversation and a very difficult scheduling for Conor McGregor. They know that they want to put him on a massive card. They want to make sure that they get the most value out of Conor because they're going to pay him a shit ton of money, so they need to get value out of him. And they want to make sure that they can either try to renegotiate with him to keep him under contract, or maybe they don't work as hard to put Conor in a fight if he's not being as receptive to renegotiations or receptive to, whatever the number is they want to give him for a fight. There's always some kind of negotiation issue. There's always some kind, because Conor is, as he said, Abriel, they said I was toast, but I'm still the bread, mate. It's true. He is the cash cow moneymaker, even still today, 11 years later after winning his first title. That says something. And it's why he hasn't been able to fight, because they want to be very selective and they're going to iron out every little contingency in his contracts before they get him a fight. It's ridiculous, but it's the way the UFC works. In Zuffa boxing, you better get ready.
Obviously, he's coming up against Max Holloway in a great fight. How do you see that matchup between those two?
Personally, I think because it's at welterweight, I see Conor knocking him out. Like, everyone's counting Conor out and thinks that Max is going to win. If it goes to the later rounds, yeah, Max definitely probably start piecing him up on the feet because he's got that cardio and the volume, but the fact that it's at welterweight, I think, favours Conor because Charles made Max look small at lightweight. So imagine how big Conor's going to look compared to him at welterweight.
Off on Gaethje. That's the fight. If Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje. So the UFC can legitimately make Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor immediately. And you put Conor McGregor in a fucking title fight. If he has a really good performance against Max Holloway, which feels very unlikely, but let's say it happens. What a fucking fight. Because Justin Gaethje's stock has gone through the roof after the White House. I mean, he's a bona fide legend now. That would be a fucking amazing fight. And that point was pretty much the end of the interview, actually. So yeah, McGregor, is he changing? I think he is. But I think it's going to be a constant battle, and one that he might get knocked down in a few times more before he eventually comes to the point that you kind of hope he would come to. But at least we're seeing some resemblance of a humbleness about him, and just speaking like a man who's actually learned a thing or two over the years, which I think for a long time.
Michael Chandler also offered his perspective. Although many originally expected Chandler to welcome McGregor back to the octagon, he instead spoke highly of Max Holloway, calling him one of the most respected and admired athletes in the sport.
Hey, Max, because I'm coming in fast. I tell you this, how are you doing after your 5-round fight with Oliveira? I thought some of the shots went to the back of the head. You had an opportunity to repay the favor you didn't take. I was disappointed in the result and the outcome of the bout and the shape the bout took. But how's the body? How are you feeling?
What it is, bro.
How's Hawaii?
I'm good.
I look forward to seeing you again in Las
great.
Vegas.
Hawaii's great, brother. Hawaii's great. I can't wait to see you in the Ninth Island, brother. How's Dublin? I heard you're sleeping in the gym, so that's great to hear, man. We're glad to have you back. I can't wait to get in there and mix it up, bro. We're gonna make some records.
Max, your fight with Conor was an early loss in your career, and I know you've been very vocal about wanting to get that victory back.
Oh, for sure. It's super fun, you know what I mean? But in Conor's words, I don't even think that's a loss. He said he only count finishes. And last time I checked, that was a decision. So we're on over into this fight, and
I like this. I like this. Go, ring the bell.
I learned announcement with Conor and Holloway at the White House. I feel like that would have went really well for them. I think that would have been cool. I was also thinking about this on the drive-in. One of the reasons, many of reasons, they didn't put Conor on the White House card. Number one is the ticket sales, right? You can tell he's a big draw. Number two is, can you imagine the backlash that the left, CNN would have ran with if Conor, with his accusations in Dublin, going through, you know, the grape stuff and all that?
That's interesting.
I bet you that had a hand in it, where they're like, hey, this is the White House. We're already getting a ton of shit for it. Do we really want Conor's comeback fight after going through all those legal issues in Dublin being at the forefront of this? And the ticket sales, they're like, it's just a lose-lose. I bet you that had something to do with it. They didn't want that negative attention stealing the storylines.
In Chandler's opinion, Holloway is a worthy opponent and an ideal choice for McGregor's long-awaited return. Wade Plemons believes money is no longer driving Conor McGregor. After building extraordinary wealth outside the cage, he argues his comeback is fueled by something much more personal: competition, legacy, and the desire to prove he can still perform at the highest level. Plemons also suggested the UFC deliberately waited for the perfect moment before bringing McGregor back, understanding that every appearance from the Irish superstar carries enormous commercial value. Contract negotiations, timing, and business considerations all played major roles in shaping this comeback. Which brings us to the question everyone continues asking: can Conor McGregor defeat Max Holloway once again? Or will Holloway finally even the score and close the chapter that began more than a decade ago? It's a matchup built on history, on redemption, on legacy, and regardless of which side you're on, one thing is certain: when these two finally step into the octagon, the entire MMA world will be watching. Who do you think walks away with the victory? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest MMA news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates as UFC 329 draws closer.